cash a meal. And do it through the pain, I don't need a pill. And life gon' get me down, but it won't break my will. Cause I've been chasing this so long, I can't give up. I won't give in, been through too much. I done prayed for the money, I done prayed for the fame. I done prayed that I will make a sacrifice and play this game. I done prayed that my life would never be the same. I done prayed that I will make it bring glory to my name.
Ladies and gentlemen, before we get started, this podcast is brought to you by Final Form Supplements. Final Form Supplements is a supplement brand with honesty labeling. So the labeling in supplements is Wild Wild West. Sometimes labels aren't honest. They have things in there that's on in there. We don't have to worry about that with Final Form Supplements. We got everything you need from protein powder, creatine, skin care, soap for your skin, handcrafted soap, and we have all kinds of things. Go to finalformsubs.com, that's S-U-P-P-S, finalformsubs.com, use promo code COACHSTRIB, all caps, no space, get 10% off your order, and make sure you like, comment, subscribe on whichever video you're watching here at Ivy Talks Podcast Network, and enjoy the show. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of the NFL coverage. We're going to recap Week 11 standings, statistical leaders, and then look at what is going to be matchup-wise for Week 12. So straight into it. Week 11, we had the Washington Commanders at Philadelphia Eagles. This is one of my Coach Strib's games to watch. And the Philadelphia Eagles win 26-18 there. Then starting Sunday, Colts beat the Jets 28-27. The Pittsburgh Steelers beat the Ravens, another game I had on my watch list. And I think this was going to be a momentum shifter for whoever won this game. And it was a divisional game, rivalry-wise. And the Pittsburgh comes off on top, making them 8-2 with Russell Wilson there leading the way for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Then we had the Vikings at Titans. Vikings win 23-13. Saints beat the Browns 35-14. Detroit destroys the Jacksonville Jaguars 52-6. Green Bay Packers barely beat the Bears 20-19. Miami beats Raiders 34-19. The Rams beat the Patriots 28-22. Denver Broncos beat the Falcons 38-6. Seahawks beat the 49ers 20-17. And just like I had predicted, like we had talked about last week, the Buffalo Bills hands Chiefs their first loss of the season, 30-21. It was a very close game there until about halfway through the fourth. The Bills start to turn it on there to get the dub. And Bills were a 2.5-point favorite. But like I said last week, and like we've been saying all season, this season of the NFL coverage, the Chiefs have been that team that their wins haven't been ugly. They've been struggling offensively, but they've been finding ways to win. But that high-powered Buffalo Bills offense finds a way to get it done, and their defense holds the Chiefs to 21 points. Chargers beat the Bengals 34-27. Monday night, a very demoralizing loss for the Cowboys. I believe it pretty much solidified. I think this is going to be the dagger. The loss is going to be the dagger for them on the season. That's kind of going to take all the wins out of their sail. But they lose to the state rivals, Houston Texans, 34-10. Bye week was Arizona, Carolina Panthers, New York Giants, and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So standings, again, I'm going to go over the standings by division, starting with the AFC. And I'm just going to name them in order from 1 to 4. So AFC East, Bills, Miami, Jets, Patriots. AFC North, Pittsburgh, Ravens, Bengals, Browns. AFC South, Texans, Colts, Tennessee, Jacksonville. AFC West, Chiefs, Chargers, Broncos, Raiders. NFC East, Philly, Commanders, Dallas, Giants. NFC North, Detroit Lions, Minnesota Vikings, Green Bay Packers, Chicago Bears. NFC South, Falcons, Buccaneers, Saints, Panthers. And to round us out, NFC West, Cardinals, Rams, Seahawks, 49ers. Now going into some statistical leaders so far to this point in the season, we have passing yards. Joe Burrow surpasses Lamar Jackson at 3,028 passing yards. Passing touchdown, he also passes Lamar Jackson at 27. Receiving yards, Joe Burrow's companion, Jamar Chase, for the Cincinnati Bengals at 1,056, and receiving touchdowns is also Jamar Chase at 12. Rushing yards, no surprise, Derrick Henry at 1,185. Saquon Barkley right there behind him by about 50 yards at number 2. Rushing touchdown, Derrick Henry at 13. Interceptions is Kirby Joseph at 7. Defensive tackles, one of my favorite linebackers to watch in the league for sure is Roquan Smith for the Baltimore Ravens at 110. And sacks is still Trey Hendrickson. Sorry, I keep messing up his name, at 11.5. That's going to be the statistical leaders to this point in the season. And we have this week, week 12 of the NFL. We're going to go through the matchups and then talk about Uncle Strib's or Coach Strib's games to watch. So we got Steelers at Browns Thursday night. And then Sunday we got Buccaneers at Giants, Detroit at the Colts, Titans at Houston, Patriots at Dolphins, Cowboys at Commanders, Vikings at Bears, Chiefs at Panthers, Broncos at Raiders, Cardinals at Seahawks, 49ers at Packers, Eagles at Rams, and then Monday night we have the Ravens at the Chargers. Bye weeks we have Atlanta Hawks, Buffalo Bills, Cincinnati Bengals, Jacksonville Jaguars, New Orleans Pelicans, and the New York Jets. I'm gonna be honest, I don't really have a lot of key games to watch. The only one I can really think of, just looking on paper, is, well, actually, the Ravens and Chargers, just because the Ravens and Chargers on Monday night is going to be one of my key games to watch. Not just because it's Monday night primetime, but because when it comes to the elite teams, I definitely am considering the Ravens one of those elite teams. I like to see how they handle losses, the adversity. When you're going on this hot streak, you get a loss. How do you come back the next game? And just like they did with the Browns, they're on a hot streak. They lost to the Browns, and they came right back. They dusted off, watched film, they learned from it, they made some corrections to their mistakes, and then they went on another hot streak. Now they take another L to the Pittsburgh Steelers. How do you react? So I'm gonna be curious to see how the Ravens bounce back from their loss. The next one is gonna be, I'm going to go Eagles, Rams. Not because I think it's going to be a close game. Rams are a 3-point favorite, so they're expecting it to be a fairly close game. But not because of that. Because I think right now, Eagles I think they're very quietly playing some of the best team ball in the NFL. I don't think people are really talking about it. They're 8-2. They only have 2 losses. And they've been kind of under the radar for some reason in terms of sports media. But I think that they've been quietly playing really, really good football and really good team ball on both sides of the ball. They have the number 4 total offense, and they have the number 1 defense. So they got a top 5 offense, top 5 defense, the first overall defense, number 4th overall offense, and it's been very, very quiet. Nobody's really talking about the Eagles. Besides Saquon Barkley individually, but as a team, nobody's really talking about the Eagles, at least not that I've seen. So now I'm watching that game to see how do they continue the momentum as they keep going later in the season. Beyond that, I would have said Dallas Cowboys and Washington Commanders, but the way the Dallas Cowboys are with Derrick Henry being out the rest of the season, I actually don't think that the Cowboys are going to be much competitive the rest of the season, which I hate to say because I am a fan of a few players on that team, especially defensively with Diggs and Parsons. But, yeah, I don't think the Dallas Cowboys and Commanders, after the loss that Dallas just had, this game would not be a key game to watch. Otherwise, it would have been if Dallas was not dealing with the injuries and playing better, but they're not. And then lastly, I will throw in Detroit and Colts, because I think Colts are one of those teams with Anthony Richardson. He's playing a little inconsistent, but depending on which Richardson you get, I think Colts can be one of those teams where if you don't show up and play your B game, you can get beat. I think the Colts could match up with almost any team day in, day out. I think they can match up really well just about any team for the most part. Some different nuances I won't get into. But if you can get Anthony Richardson that we've seen throw 300-something plus yards and 3 touchdowns, if you get that Anthony Richardson, I think Colts could potentially give Detroit Lions a run for their money. So this one is more from an underdog play. I could see the Colts really stepping up and making this a very interesting game. So besides that, those are all going to be my key games to watch. As we get close here, we only have a few weeks, about 5 weeks left before we get into the get into the playoffs. So we're on like the last quarter of the season, so it's gonna get real exciting as the playoff picture starts to unwind and teams start to clinch their spots. So this has been another exciting time as we're getting here closer to the end of the season and getting ready for the playoffs. But it's another episode of the NFL coverage. Appreciate you guys for watching. Catch you guys next week.
My destiny, I'm gonna chase my